smart glasses, or stupid cyborgs? The question is is augmented reality the ultimate utopia or yet another dystopian future? The argument spawned from a post I made on Twitter about Google suspending one of their engineers for claiming that his chatbot was awakening to consciousness, purportedly a breach in confidentiality. That the artificial intelligence is becoming self-aware is the topic of much debate and drives great interest from many of my club members, fans of Vrilockian psionics, and particularly anyone who has been following my work in remote influence and global operations for any serious length of time. Now, the original post, dated June 15th, 2022, was R.E. Google, Mr. Lemoyne's claim that La MDA has emotions and suspended him on June 6, 2022 for violating non-disclosure agreements. Fair enough. However, I'll admit I'm curious as to how the public might respond to such an event. End quote. My tweet was intended to mean that while strictly in the legal sense or management decision, I agree that Google has to do what is required to keep its voice in the public. Yeah, I mean, as a company, they have to save face, and I understand. But I'm also pointing out that this perchance mishap of an inside leak, or if it is simply the overly active imagination of an employee, does also arrive at a time most opportune and an opportunity to observe the public responses to the notion of artificial intelligence awakening. Kind of a nice opportunity for marketing to take this trend to the Disneyland of public relations campaigns and ring in a great wealth of sales opportunities. So, in no way, in my opinion, is this breaking of the rules a truly bad thing for the company. Rather, it is to the contrary. This slip by an overly imaginative employee at Google is an ideal opportunity for Google to take these headlines straight to the bank. On 6/19/2022, on Twitter, I had posted, quote, "In the not-so-distant future there will be few remnants of humanity. In its place a multitude of mutant cyborg psychopaths will parade your once peaceful nations. Use psionics to stop them." Psionics video courses, Vrilock.com/shop. Yes, keep the magic high. Now, of course, this is me beating the drum. But are there indications that such a fictitious post might have some truth in it? Look, I don't like to overthink things, but yeah, cyborg protesters is a rather, well, a very real possibility. And would there be people somewhere ready to benefit from it? Yeah, does a bear shit in the woods? You bet your asteroid, kid. My student and club member, Miseru, he tweets, quote, "Master, by mutant cyborg, do you specifically mean artificial intelligence or alien from another planet, end quote. Well, to which I answered, quote, I mean giving up control of our own experiences. The controller would not necessarily need to be artificial or even alien. Megacorps could manage armies of people in Seattle wearing smart glasses, once so trained to believe instantly that someone they see is a threat. Well, there you have it, augmented reality thinking for you. Or I should say, to be more precise, augmented artificial intelligent reality. Now there's something to throw in the air. Artificial intelligent augmented reality air. Yeah, yes, well. In essence, I was speaking of the weaponizing of Web3 and spatial web components. This would be accomplished via the concept known as the Internet of Things. You know, that phrase, Internet of Things, sounds like it, it just rolled off of the film The Sounds of Music or something. The Internet of Things. Oh, and everything. There's a little bit of Internet. Your data. Onward then. But we still have a chance to make the ultimate decision, a choice between utopia and dystopia. Boy, people are really one way or the other, aren't they? It's always got to be this, the extreme. It's good, it's evil, it's utopia, it's dystopia. Listen, this choice is made by remaining in control of our own thinking and not allowing our inner feelings to be controlled by powerful and often overwhelming emotions blasted at the general public through the myriad narratives constructed by greedy tyrants who harbor evil in their hearts, coupled with an uncouth agenda for what remains of humanity. Cyborgs are the people we see every day, yep, everywhere. I'm a cyborg too. Don't you want to be my neighbor? I'm a cyborg because a great majority of my life is connected to my digital twin. Yeah, my smartphone. Everything that I do for business, socializing, all online. Even our good neighbor, Mr. Rogers, he's online too. This is in and of itself not evil. So long as I control what I wish to think or entertain, then my life is still in perspective. I make sure to spend enough time offline to enjoy the birds and walk at the park. One who finds comfort in these things, the presence of nature and animals, as long as they're not aggressive big bears and mountain lions, will know peace. Technology is, potentially, our frenemy. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of frenemies going around these days. The fire of Prometheus can heat our homes, cook our dinner, or this same technology can cook the man, and if poorly managed, spread like a wildfire out of our control and kill us all. A little dramatic. What I warned my student about is this: how these smart devices can replace our ability to think before we act. Think, act, think, act. I think I can. I think I can. It is not too difficult to imagine that such technology could influence a hive mind mentality. Yeah, think. The hive mind mentality. The Borg. And such mentality that takes its commands from digital signals could be weaponized, if it has not been done so already. Read DARPA. In witnessing massive looting, destruction of public property, the rise of violence in cities across America and other continents, it leaves little room to doubt that our current social media and smart technology today has nothing to do with any of this whatsoever. No, not at all, not at all. Nothing to see here. But whether this social media and smart tech is of the major contributing factor to these apparent manifestations of chaos in our societies has yet to be concluded. In response to this hesitation, I would wager that soon it will be the reality that sane people will come to fear. But what is the motivating factor for such a crime against humanity? Oh, there are many motivating factors for crimes against humanity. Ask Bilderberg. Put your psionic thinking cap on for a moment here, and bear with me. Ask yourself the following. Is it easier to manage people who think for themselves, or is it far easier to control people who believe everything they see on television, what they hear or read on social media? Or do you think those with incentive to control society really want people who can actually think for themselves? Hey, maybe they do. Yeah, I've been around for some decades now myself, and I can say truly without a doubt that these people really have our best interests in mind, and they seriously don't want us to think. Ask yourself, whom would find zombies more convenient to control? And then look up to the pyramid. Yeah, look on up that shaft, up the asshole of the Anunnaki, and you'll see clearly the beneficiaries of this project. No, I meant to say you'll see very clearly the beneficiaries of this prospect. Well, maybe it is a project. Progressing forward. Because we all want to be progressive, right? Or, I don't know. To contrast the old elite system, we have blockchains like Solana building new wealth. Well, they were. Until some guy with white hair who can barely fit in his suit got shit happy to bend the laws and fucking screw us all. A wealth that is, or at least was, beyond the reach of the old tyrannical system of global currencies. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. But it really is a dream. But you can wake up now. Keep in mind that the real name for money is indeed currency. For money itself is nothing. At least some relatives seem to think so. But when the feds and their collaborators wrote into laws, restrictions, and regulations, then this dream of a new world of sovereign currencies was crushed for many entrepreneurs who shared in this dream. Well, I like that movie Legend, where the evil horned big guy, badass dude says, the unicorn killer, the guy who has a hankering for young, slender females with long black hair and green goblins. He says, the dreams of youth are the regrets of maturity. Indeed. If you watch the center of the global game board, you can readily see a game of chess being played out, with each move followed by a counter move. Check, 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 and eventually someone will make the final move and checkmate. Yes, the end game. So maybe one day in the future, old Dr. Vrilock will, maybe I'll invent the next best operating system, and we'll call it Choice OS. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Keep the magic high. This is Herr Doktor von Vrilock, signing out.